So the concern that I have is that the intersectionalists may end up creating the very enemy they claim they are fighting. They're going to back straight white males against the wall and speak of the devil. White nationalism will emerge from that cohort. And when it does, those people will feel empowered and they will feel self-righteous because they have been accused of things that are, frankly, a form of bigotry. They have been accused by bigots of oppressing others, and they have been told that they are not entitled to well-being, no matter how they individually have behaved. And so what do they have to lose by cooperating together against the intersectionalists and essentially creating the world that the intersectionalists claim already exists? Now, what we should do about this is not entirely clear, but one thing that must happen is we must level up our thinking, and we must understand that backing people against the wall who have a genetic basis for cooperation is very dangerous, because history tells us that movements created by such people can be very destructive, and that ultimately they may turn into a genocidal menace.
Game theoretically, it is a terrible mistake. It was a terrible mistake for the DEI crowd to go after straight white males, because it created this very same impulse, like, well, if I can't win because all of the things that I am are declared no good, then what exactly is my incentive to play along with the civilization that's doing that to me? And my point here, I wasn't talking specifically about anti-Semitism in that clip, but the logic is the same. What a terrible error it is to go after anybody who has legitimate questions about the interaction between the United States and not only a foreign state, but a particular administration that has a very hardline bent within that foreign state. You're allowed to have questions. You're an American. That's one of the great things about it. You're allowed to have questions. You're allowed to ask any question you want. And anybody who wants to say that the reason you can't ask that question is because you're revealing a horrible defect in character, or defect of character, is running exactly the risk of creating the enemy, effectively calling it forth.
So the concern that
That is Eric Weinstein, and this, I am J.J. Carrell on the J.J. Carrell Show. Highly intelligent man, extremely intelligent man. I question some of the things he says because he's an atheist. I pray that he finds God. But that being said, he's a critical thinker on multiple subjects. That first clip was him 6 years ago, talking about what I have been talking about for a very, very long time. And that is the demonization of the white race. That we somehow created civilizations in Western Europe, in America, that has incredible technology, arts, language, technology, sports, you name it, we built it. The forming governments we have, Western Europe, the United States of America, predominantly. And yet somehow we, North America, the Western nations, Western Europe, excuse me, Australia and Venezuela are invaded by third world people that are brown and black. And everyone sits there silently and says it's okay. No other nation is being invaded except the white nations. The other nations that took a little dip their toe into that, into the immigrant insanity, places like Japan, have come out and said, you're all gone. Bye. Like, we're being kind, but we're going to tell you, we're going to forcibly remove your ass from our country because you're not assimilating. You're not becoming Japanese. Well, why is it okay for the Japanese to claim that they want to maintain their culture and society, or China or Russia? But the United States of America is a melting pot. That's not true. People that come to this country assimilate immediately. First generation, when their children are born, they're absolute Americans. They don't have accents. They're wearing jeans. They're listening to rock and roll, country music. They're assimilated. We have no assimilation now. This is what it looks like, and this is what Mr. Weinstein was saying. You have created a nation that was created by white people. Don't give me your slave crap and all that. It was minuscule compared to the amount of people in America. Just don't even go there with that nonsense. Slavery was throughout the globe. We were one of the very few people, had some of the fewest slaves, and then we eradicated it, us and the UK. Well, everyone still kind of dabbles in, not kind of, a lot dabbles in slavery as of today. That's a whole nother topic, but I'm not going to sit here and take abuse that my founding fathers were horrible people when the whole world did it. Was it wrong? Hell yeah, it's wrong. But it's been throughout humanity. White people have been slaves. So don't even start with all that crap. And if you really want to go down that side road, if you will, for a minute, who captured all the blacks in Africa and put them in cages and sold them? Were there a bunch of white people running around Africa capturing blacks, or was it your own people? Their own black chiefs warring against other black chiefs, capturing their people, enslaving them, and then selling them. So let's stop with all the nonsense, okay? White Europeans settled. They did not immigrate here. They settled the United States of America. We fought wars, and we own it. All of you Native Americans, which I have Native American blood coursing through my veins, you people, including myself, can go pound sand. You're just fortunate that we were gutless enough not to eradicate all the Native Americans, as every other civilization throughout the world history has done when they took over something. They took over a nation, they destroyed and killed everybody. If they let that nation stay alive, if that nation did not assimilate and not cause any problems, then they would kill them all. What did America do? We bent over backwards. Now we give $6 billion to the Indian Foundation. It's a fund, $6 billion a year. They just piss it away. Go to any reservation, just see them piss it away. America was built by white settlers. So now, as Eric Weinstein says, the white settlers now open the doors without voting on it. They just opened the doors and said, come in. Now we have all of these people that don't look like us, don't use the same language as us, have no societal or cultural norms that are similar to us, none. They don't believe in the same God. And we brought them in here, and we thought this all going to be okay. But they stayed together, and they don't assimilate. They never learn our language. They never learn our cultures. We, the white people, have been forced to assimilate to them. Their ways are foreign, thus the name foreigner. They're not what we agreed to. That is not our social compact. But our government destroyed that social compact, destroyed our agreement, and brought in people to replace us. And what Weinstein is saying, those same people that came into America by the stupidity of America and Americans, now instead of bowing down and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, I'm going to work my ass off to prove that I belong here. I want to be an American. No. They get together and they demonize us. And they say that you're the problem, white people. You're racist. You're xenophobic. You're oppressive. Well, hold on a second. Which one is it? This is a great country. That's why you came over 7,000 miles to get here illegally or legally to get here into this racist country. Is that what you're trying to tell me? The country that gives you SNAP benefits so you can feed your fat face, pays you Section 8 housing so you can have shelter where I work my ass off. You get free health care and I have to pay $1,000, $2,000 a month for premiums. That country, that crappy country. But they all say, it's your fault, white person. All of it's your fault. And this is human nature, what's happening right now. It took way longer than I wanted, but it's here finally. And what is that? It's like Eric Weinstein said, you backed us against the wall. You backed us into a corner. And now we're going to fight you. There are millions of men like me, white alpha males, that are ready to go to war for this country. Not ready to protest, not ready to ban you, ready to go to war to eradicate you from our nation. Our politicians are not doing it fast enough. This is a demographic time bomb. And Eric Weinstein is 100% correct. And I'm going to, and I've articulated this, my view on this several times on this show, but I feel it needs to be said again. I believe everything that Weinstein said, but I want to give you a different spin, a different take. Weinstein saying you backed us against the wall, backed us into a corner. We have no choice but to fight or die. It's really that simple. But I want to tell you from my perspective that there's millions of men like me, and each man has his family, worked his ass off, has about 5 acres of land, maybe quarter acre of land, has a nice house, maybe a pool in the back, got his dog, he's sitting on the porch, he's got a wife, he's got 2-3 kids, he's happy. He's got his little kingdom. His world's semi-normal. Sure, there's some crazy stuff going on, but that's just human nature. We'll work ourselves through it. We're America when we're Americans. But while I've been sitting on my porch, voting to put in representatives to go to our government to represent me, they lied to me and men like me. They opened the floodgates to replace me. And then outside of my gates of my property, I'm watching America catch fire. I'm watching the sexual perversion skyrocket. I'm watching immigrant communities rise up and begin to steal money, begin to commit heinous crimes against Americans. And they keep pressing up on my property and pressing up on my property. And I keep telling them, please leave me alone and my family alone. And I try to appease them. I try to threaten them. Nothing works. Then all of a sudden, one day, they've climbed over my chain link fence. They've knocked it down. My son was playing kickball, and you kidnapped him. My 16-year-old daughter was trying to get into her car, and you raped her. You killed my wife. Now my house is on fire. I've lost everything. Now I'm standing outside my property off the porch because my house, my whole world has been destroyed. My family's gone. My house, everything's gone. My life, you killed my life. There's nothing for me to come back. So what am I going to do? What does history show over and over and over again? What happens? Men like me get together and we say, you've asked me, you demanded, and you forced me into this war. So here we go. Here I come. And I know from history, and I know from knowing the depths of my soul what I will do. That even my self-awareness, I have no true idea about how violent I'm going to be. I have no true idea and understanding how much pain and suffering, without any empathy, without any hesitation, that I'm going to inflict on you. Because you destroyed my life. I begged you to leave me alone, and you didn't. And when a man has nothing to lose, nothing, he doesn't care about dying. In fact, he actually would prefer, he knows he's a Christian and he can't kill himself because he would never be reunited with his loved ones. So he almost wants to put himself in the most maximum danger with the hope that he could just die and leave this miserable SOB place called Earth. And when you have men like that, you blue-haired people, you third worlders that think that you're tough with machetes, all of you Karens, all of you enlightened rhinos and leftists, you have no chance on earth against men like me. None. It's like when I was in the Tijuana River bottom, 2:00 in the morning. I didn't care who was crossing that border. Ain't nobody getting by me. Ain't nobody going to beat me up. It's going to be, if you want to engage into a fight, then you're going to lose. That's just the way it's going to be, because you'll never meet my violence. You'll never meet my tenacity. I will beat you into submission. You can do it the right way and shut up, turn around, let me put the cuffs on you. Or if you can stand up and want to fight, then let's go, brother. But I'm going to win, and I won every single effing time. That's the mindset of the white men that you're demonizing. That's the mindset of white men that you've stolen from. This is the mindset of white men that you have destroyed their societies, that you beat up their children, you rape their daughters, you force us out of social media and the square, you force us out of jobs, you censor us. You try to push us out into the far corners of society where all the freaks that like you, that run the world now, that we put you. You're making a big miscalculation. And as Eric Weinstein said, they're righteous now. They, the white nationalists, they're righteous. They have a legitimate grievance, and you provided it. Instead of taking our kindness as just simply kindness, you took our kindness as a weakness. You took our kindness as some kind of symbol of that you're more powerful and you could take us. I have no illusion that the rhinos, the pasty white guys, the intellectuals in the universities, the people that are the baristas, they're never going to be on our side, and we don't want you on our side. You're just simply dead weight. Can you imagine what it looks like with millions of men like me? Millions. Where have we seen this before? We don't have to go far back into history to see the atrocities that this happens. I have no love for Hitler. I have no love for killing people and all those atrocities, but I understand it. I understand it. I can look at it intellectually and say, yeah, that was the only outcome. That was the only outcome. You demonize one group of people. You forced them into extreme poverty, devalued everything they had, made them sexually perverse, as Berlin became the sexual Sodom and Gomorrah of the modern era. History shows, humanity shows that the pendulum is going to swing. And all of you idiots out there, all of you leftists that are fighting Donald Trump, I believe Donald Trump is the man for this time. I believe God anointed him and put him in a position of authority as president for this time. I believe that months ago, years ago. I believe that today. Absolutely. Outside of President Trump, if things do not rapidly change, and I mean immediately, there is a gentleman that we have no idea who he is right now. And he is on the far, 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 far right. And he's going to rally all of us. He's going to rally all the disaffected, disenfranchised, black, white, Hispanic, everyone that loves this country and have seen this country get eaten alive by the parasites of the third world, by the billionaires, by the elite class. And he is going to rise up, and he's going to be charismatic. And he is, by history, shows this. This is not my feelings or my beliefs or my fantasy. This is what I know, and I don't want it to happen, but I'm telling you it's going to happen. Without Jesus coming back and people changing their ways immediately, this will happen because history shows it. You don't have to believe me. All I ask you is you bookmark this. And that man's going to rise up and he's going to lay bare all the crimes committed against Americans. And he's going to ask one simple question. And just be one question. Are you ready? And everyone's going to say in a roar, yes, I'm ready. And you're going to hear the roar. All of you media scumbags, all of you Lindsey Graham politicians, all of you half-wits, all of you degenerate criminals, all of you welfare-sucking third worlders, all of you Muslims that hate America, all of everybody that hates America, you will hear us, and then you will feel extreme pain and suffering. And there will be no shits given for you. That's the truth. Why do I play people like Eric Weinstein? I do that for two reasons. First, I really love to listen to very, very intelligent people. And it's a way for me to means test my beliefs. Don't mean I have to agree with Mr. Weinstein or Colonel McGregor or whoever I'm listening to. Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Pat Buchanan. It doesn't matter. I means test and I see, okay, I understand this guy's this, and that. Okay. I means test it. Because I like to listen to what very smart people that have real world experience, not some meathead or not some academic geek that's never done anything. He's telling me about business. He's never owned a business. The second thing that I use people like Eric Weinstein for is I want to take the words from me as a white man and place them and show that these words are coming from, quote, the other side. Eric Weinstein is a Jew. Have no problem with that. But I will use his words, and I'll use words of and videos of other people I'm going to show you that are Black, Hispanic, Asian. Why? Because I want you to hear their words. Some of them are adversarial to me, but I want you to hear their words because they're my words too. They're the same thing I'm saying to you. So who's racist? Is it just me? Because I'm white? I'm a racist because I'm white. But everyone else, I got a Jew, I got a Black preacher, I got Hispanic guy, I got this guy from Ukraine, and they're all saying the same damn thing. They're actually using the same verbiage and phrases I'm using, sometimes harsher than me. But they're okay. And thus is the problem. You demonize us. You say all the horrible things, and the white people stand up and say, not just say, but point it out. You said this. You said that. Here are your actions. And what do we get? Do we get some kind of intellectual honesty? No. We get the demonization. We get censorship, and we get called vile names. And the idea, the problem, the true problem I just stated, we have an expectation from third worlders to behave and have the intellect that we do. That's absurd. How do we expect people that don't have running water or electricity, don't critically think, have no skills, are illiterate in their own language, cannot read and write whatever godforsaken place they came from, is going to come here and going to be a betterment for America? That's a fallacy. That's a lie. That is propaganda. There are times when I'm watching videos that are sent to me or they come in my algorithm, whatever social media I'm on, and my first inclination or thought is this just because this is my algorithm and getting it? Is that why I'm seeing the increase in XYZ? No. The rise of white nationalism, they call it Christian nationalism, call it whatever you want. The rise of angry white people, that's what I'm going to call it. Disenfranchised, pissed off, angry, resentful white people is skyrocketing. And it's not a character flaw of white people. It's not. You created it. I just let you listen to a Jewish man who is highly intelligent tell you exactly the same thing I did in a very different way, because he is much more articulate than I am academically. And he's saying the same thing. You demonize the wrong group of people. Why are Jews hypersensitive about this? Because they have been run out of 109 different nations. They know the telltale signs. They can feel it. They can sense it. It's built into their DNA. It's almost like a survival mechanism they have. So you're hearing from one Jewish man that is considered across the board as a highly intellectual, a high intellectual, is stating, and I'm trying to articulate what he did not as a Jew. And that is, he can feel it. Not just academically, not just looking at a tabletop exercise. He can feel it. America has had it. More specifically, white America has had it. You've taken our kindness. You've taken our generosity. You've taken our hard work. And you've taken it and you've misunderstood who we are, why we do things, and then you have miscalculated how pissed off we are. And the media has made you feel as if you're invincible, has made you feel as if because you can beat up beta male white guys and terrorize white Karens into submission, that you somehow believe that's what we all are. They are the anomaly. We are the majority. I will never apologize to you for being white. I have sat my adult life and listened to people brag on being black, being Hispanic, being Asian, being Jewish, being Muslim. All the while, I have been told over and over again, don't say anything about being white. You have no pride in being white. In fact, I want you, not only that, I want you to disavow Christ. And I want you to be silent in your worship and admiration and belief in Jesus Christ. We're going to bring in people that are completely 180 degrees different from those beliefs, and you're going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it. Do I think blacks have the opportunity or should have the opportunity to galvanize and say, hey, we have these problems and these are the things that we're very good at. Let's correct the violence in the inner city and let's correct our schools. And then they could get representatives and petition the government for better schools, all that. Absolutely. Have no issue with that. Hispanics want better living conditions, maybe better. They're first generation legal immigrants and they want some kind of protection, whatever that may be, that they feel that they're not getting from the Constitution, or they want to change internally their illegitimacy rate that's over 50%, and they want to get together and they want to find some common ground. Have no problem with that. They want to create businesses within their community, and they want to service those and patronize those businesses to help their communities grow. That's brilliant. That's actually business 101. It's smart. I have no problem with that. Is it okay for the Jews to come over and help just Jews? I don't really have a problem with that. If everybody is in their little enclaves, are Americans first. Like, the greater good is America, but we're going to help each other in order to grow America, to make it better, because it does us no good to have blacks and Hispanics living in inner city cesspools, kids going to crappy ass schools, or the Jews huddling up and just taking care of the Jews. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, hey, we have a problem in our society, in our small society, or smaller version of our society. Let's fix it. How do we fix it? Let's come up with some really good plans, and let's work together as a race. But more so, I want to work together as Americans. Great, let's do that. Why can every other race do that except whites? Why is that? No one's ever been able to explain that to me. Why do I have to talk in racial terms? Because the left created this balkanization of America. You, the left and the rhinos, created this a nation that's built off of race. You keep saying it's a melting pot. You keep saying that diversity is a strength. No, it's not. America is great because of Americans. You want to be a part of being American? Then come join America. But if you don't, then get the hell out of my country. Just like the Japanese are saying right now. God bless them. Look at the stones. It's a female too. Look at the stones that female has. Prime Minister or President. I don't know the term, the title they have. But she's just basically come out and just said, all of you are gone. Get out. Let's listen to Tucker Carlson. I got a guest coming on here in just about 5 minutes, but I want you to please play Tucker Carlson and listen to him talk about how, just listen to Tucker.
And I got like written out of conservatism, whatever that is. It's not conservative, but because I interviewed Nick Fuentes, and my point, I said right in the interview, I'm totally opposed to anti-Semitism, just so you know.
Yeah.
And he said he agreed. Whether he does or not, I'm not in charge of his soul, but I am. But I interviewed Nick Fuentes because I wanted people to think about, why is this guy the most popular, much more popular than I am, influencer among young men? And it's because they've been destroyed by us. And that's a freaking fact.
Yeah.
And anyone who doesn't know that isn't listening, and anyone who listens but can't hear it is intentionally ignoring it. And shame on them.
Yeah. My generation, I'm tip of the millennial, the older tip of the millennials and down. Saw that you interviewed Nick Fuentes, and I don't think we batted an eye. We're like, yeah, no, like everybody younger than me listens to Nick Fuentes. Like 5 million followers, I think, on Rumble, 170,000 live viewers. Like at any given moment he goes live, there's 170,000 people that tune into his live streams.
I wonder if the geniuses have ever considered why that is.
That's my point. Is like, is it wrong to get into someone's head and let them say what they believe and give them a platform to do that so that people can actually know what they think, you know? And it's like, why? And then hearing the story of how he was canceled, you know, by Ben Shapiro when he was 18 years old. And it's like, what people need to have a window into the mind of the next generation. And I think that's the missing piece in that, is no one's thinking about that next generation and why they're attracted to this guy.
Well, completely. Yeah. And does, quote, canceling people work? Does telling people, would it work with your kids? If your child runs into the house, like clutching his leg and there's blood seeping through his fingers and he's like, and you're like, shut up. I don't want to hear it. Like, he could probably bleed to death. Like, you have to listen to people, period. And if you refuse to listen to people, you have to ask why. Yeah. Why am I shouting someone down rather than hearing what he has to say? Probably because what he's saying implicates me. Yeah. And at least part of what he's saying is true. And a lot of what Nick Fuentes, and I'd take the anti-Semitism out, I'm against it, just to be clear. But a lot of what Nick Fuentes says is absolutely true. The United States Congress is unduly influenced by a foreign country called Israel. It's not hate against Israel. It's criticism of the U.S. Congress. Sure. No U.S. lawmaker should ever put a foreign country above his own, period. So Nick Fuentes is not a criminal for saying that. They're criminals for doing it. I mean, if you disagree, tell me how. Yeah. Shut up, Nazi. Nope, not going to shut up.
And that's the key. What Tucker asked was a very brilliant question. Has anybody asked why this rise of white nationalism, Christian nationalism, listen to people like Nick Fuentes? Do you think that that's happened just out of it's in a bubble? I have a young son's 14. I drive him around with his friends, incredibly intelligent kids, highly, highly politically engaged, way more than I was ever at that age. And they're looking and they're asking very, very poignant questions like the why. Why is it that way, Dad? Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, who's doing that? Why are they doing that? What is their allegiance? Why, Dad, why are we being blamed for all the crime and all the problems and all that? And we don't live there, Dad. Why are the inner cities falling apart and every single person that's running it is a Democrat? But they blame us, Dad. That generation and the generation above are going to change the world. They're going to change America. And that's what scares the powers to be more than anything else, is they can't control the youth now. They had complete domination over them through movies, TV, must-see TV on Thursday nights, NBC. No, it's all, the whole media has changed. These kids get their information from podcasts like this. Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, they're watching them. Nick Fuentes has 5 million followers. In one night, he'll get 5 million people will watch his video clip, say in a week. Fox News won't get 5 million viewers in a week. The old media is dead. Everything has changed. Every single thing has changed. Before I bring my first guest in, every once a week I bring in Chris from Sat 123 because I believe in being prepared. I would like you to go to my website, jjcarrell.com. You can get all my back episodes there. You can get all my writings. I have tons and tons of free content at my website. I'm proud of my website. I have no technical skills at all. Zero. Ask my producer, Nick, as my headphones don't work and I'm losing my mind. I have a great company here in Kansas that runs my website for me. Incredible. I have an incredible group that's running it. I'm proud of it because I could never have created it, like never in a million years. So I'm proud of it. jjcarrell.com, or go to my Substack, jjcarrell.com, jjcarrell.substack.com. Go ahead and just subscribe to my free stuff. I don't care. All I ask is that you just spread the word. That's it. So I want to bring in Chris from Sat 123. Chris, how are you doing? And how is the weather in Colorado, my friend?
JJ, you'd be pleased to hear that it's getting colder, mate.
That makes me, if you would have told me, hey, it's sunny and it's great, I'd be really ticked off because I'm in Kansas and it is cold, rainy, and wet, and all the beautiful leaves are falling. You know, when it rains, all the leaves fall, and it's just a bunch of sticks now, right? And it's not even December yet, and I'm looking to March before I see some sunshine. So good. Misery loves company, Chris. All the time, misery loves company. Listen, I bring you on every week because I'm partnered with your company, sat123.com, and I call it the Be Prepared company. Just these are the things you need to be prepared. And every week you and I talk about an article or a video. And I have a quick video that I just want to show my audience because it's real. This is the reality of China and Russia and everyone else trying to hack into our systems. Then I just want you to get your comments on it. How does this video play into what we need from Sat 123? So Nick, if you can play clip number 5, please, on the China cyber attacks. Thanks, man.
Retired Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster warns that the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, is developing a cyber kill switch that could paralyze America before a shot is fired. U.S. firms block 31 billion cyber attacks daily, 9 million of which are new. These attacks range from spy balloons to Volt Typhoon cyber attacks on America's infrastructure. Because they're preparing for war, says McMaster. Since 2000, the CCP's military budget has grown 44-fold. Their nukes, up 400%. Their malware has already infiltrated our telecommunications and infrastructure. This isn't just espionage, it's a blueprint for an aggressive strike.
Chris, to follow up on that or add to that video, which is frightening, in the last 4 years under Joe Biden, 200,000 Chinese nationals came across the border, were detected, identified, and then released. My sources say the minimum 100,000 were PLA soldiers. They're here. Tell me, do you look at that video and go, well, that's hyperbole, that's crazy? Or do you say everything is completely 100% correct?
I mean, I look at that and I say that's not even the half of it, mate. You know, these attacks have been going on for years and years and years. And look, I'm not trying to be a doomsayer and all is lost and, you know, we need to run for the hills. But we do need to understand that they've been playing this game a long time. Right now, China is in the middle of the beginning of its next 5-year plan, which ends in 2030. And the goal of at the end of that 5-year plan is to dominate AI, the production of the equipment needed, the algorithms, the AI themselves. And, they've been, they haven't just started this for a long time. They've been rolling up the rare earth elements. They control about 60% at least of the world's supply of rare earth elements, and they pretty much have a monopoly on the refining of those elements, which is no joke. Because look, these are the things we need to run our data systems, our AI centers, chips, screens, everything that we're coming to rely on completely. They are controlling the supply and refining of. But it's not just that. Alongside that, they have, I don't even know how many people, thousands, tens of thousands of people working on nothing but stealing U.S. data, U.S. innovation, and manipulating the U.S. public through social media and news platforms.
What do you say if I came to you and say, okay, I've never been to Sat 123. I agree with everything you said, because everything you just said is factually true. This is not, it's like an open secret, right? That this is happening. So I come to you and say, hey, okay, I'm a novice. Tell me what I need. Give me the top 3 things that you're selling that you say you have to have, man.
Well, yeah, we've talked about this before, and as well as I do, it's like everything relies on power. Show me something we don't rely on for life that doesn't rely on the power grid. So if that goes down, everything else goes down below it. So the number one thing I would say would be the solar-powered portable generators. We have solar-powered generators that are small and handheld, under $100, that can recharge your devices, all the way up to much bigger units that for a few thousand or more that can recharge and power your entire house on a daily basis, including your heating, air conditioning, and so on. But if you don't have power, you don't have the ability to charge anything or operate anything. So the next thing I would say would be the satellite phone. We're the only company in the country, as you know, mate, who offers the satellite phone for free with activation, saving you $1,000 to $2,000. We also offer free Starlink internet units with activation. I don't know of anyone else doing that, but we've always tried to make sure that, look, this vital life-saving equipment is not just the purview of the billionaires and the millionaires. It should be available to the average common family, working family in this country, and that's why we do these things for free. But look, if you don't have any kind of communication like a sat phone, and there is a blackout, you don't know what's going on. It might just be a local blackout in your town, or it might be something much more nefarious, an attack on this country. But you need information, you need the ability to be able to communicate, and you need the ability to get data. Look, again, I always say this, but if you leave your house without the phone in the morning, you turn around and go back and get it, because we rely on it, but so does everything in our supply chain, mate.
Well, tell me this. So the economy, we're being told, is awesome and everyone's doing great, but everyone in the real world doesn't believe that. So if somebody says to you, well, you know what, I don't have time or the money to get a sat phone. You just said you'll give the sat phone to me for free if I have a subscription. Well, what is my subscription? Is it like $400 a month, or is it less?
No, look, I mean, it starts from under $90. I think even under $80, we've got subscription fees. And for that, you're getting 100+ minutes, 150 minutes a month that can even roll over. But look, it's the kind of thing that you hope you never need. But if you need it, your life can depend on it. And look, I'm not just talking about, attacks on the country. What about if you're off-roading, if you're out hunting, fishing, hiking, you have an accident, this, and I know that you arm your family with these, quite rightly so, because if you cannot communicate and you need emergency medical attention, what are you going to do? The outcome's not going to be good. So the ability to communicate can be life-saving on a daily basis when you're just out enjoying yourself with the family, or you break down in a part of the country that doesn't have cell service. And that's over 90% of this country, by the way, does not have any kind of cell service. So you don't want to be in that situation.
Chris, thank you very much. I love speaking to you every week. I look at the weather and make sure that it's freezing cold in Colorado. I love it. If you guys don't know, this is a behind the story. We set up an interview, and he goes, "Hey, mate, I'm not in Colorado, but I'm somewhere, but I'll set up." So I go, "Okay, whatever, you're fine." We set up the Zoom or the whatever we're using at the time, and he's sitting, I think, in Belize and the beach. And it's snowing here in Kansas and freezing. And you can see the palm trees swaying with the wind. I was so pissed off. I was like, get this guy off my show right now. So, mate, I hope it freezes very, very cold for you. But thank you very much. Sat123.com is a great company, and I implore all my audience to go to it. Chris, thank you very much. We'll see you next week, my friend.
Look forward to it. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you. Chris from sat123.com/JJ, sat123.com/JJ. Another caveat for Sat. Call them and then be shocked when an English speaker picks up the phone. Not Susan from Bangladesh. It's going to be Susan from Sacramento or Rhode Island or Alabama. It'll be American. Wow, what a cool thing for a company to have Americans working in it. Incredible. Sat123.com/JJ. And my other sponsor I have for this show is Patriots Made. And again, you want to go to a company that has Americans in a company built in America that have Americans working there, making products for over 400 products that are clean, don't have metals, plastics, mRNA in their food, don't have any of that crap. It's just green, as AOC would promote. And that would be patriotsmade.com. Go to patriotsmade.com/JJ. Start buying American. Stop paying money to the big box stores and to the companies that hate you, and go to an American company that believes in the exact same thing you do. God, country, and family. What's wrong with that? Why don't we start spending money on that? patriotsmade.com/JJ. I want to go to a topic that is just unbelievable. And it's been going on for now, I believe, over a year that this came out. And you say, well, why hasn't the Congress and the Senate or the president taken care of this? Because the Senate and the House and the president are Republicans. What am I talking about? I'm talking about over $40 million in straight stone cold cash going to the Taliban every week. Not 40 million in a year, almost a week, pallets of cash. And it's been brought up by Sean Ryan of the Sean Ryan Show. Got Tim Burkett involved, the congressman from Tennessee. They have a bill on the floor, and it's taking forever to pass. Why is that? Why is that, Speaker Johnson, man of God, that's hiding all the pedos? Go ahead. Tell me, somebody give me an answer. This is a 5-minute video. And you usually don't do that on a show like this. But this is one of those rare times where I'm watching this video and I'm asking myself, okay, where do I stop it? No, I can't stop it there. Can't stop it there. Holy crap, I'm already past the whole video. It's one of those videos that has to play the whole way for you to understand. If you don't know about this, this is what I say. Our government is the enemy. It's shocking, but let me just put this caveat. As shocking as this is just what we know about. Can you imagine what we don't know? Go ahead and play this, please, Nick.
All you outragers out there, actually, for all of America out there, you want to know why nothing changes? Because you don't hold yourselves accountable. We gave you something to do, a call to action, and you did not do it. You and I are funding a terrorist organization, the Taliban.
Let's talk about how the U.S. is funding Taliban.
It all started with this interview on the Sean Ryan Show.
On a weekly basis, the United States, the current administration, Mr. Joe Biden, has been sending $40 million.
Why have billions of dollars of your money gone to Afghanistan since the Taliban took power? And you might say, well, that's because America is a generous country and we send humanitarian assistance all over the globe.
Where are we with the funding? You're the one that broke $40 million a week.
U.S. aid, U.S. cash in Afghanistan is distributed in honor of Mullah Hibatullah, not in the name of the generosity of the American people.
Tim Burchett got involved.
Sean and Legend brought to our attention that at least $40 million per week is ending up in the hands of the Taliban.
Eli Crane got involved.
Biden's State Department sent millions of your tax dollars to the Taliban.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was at the last
$40 million
press conference.
in cash payments per week are being delivered to the Taliban.
What's the headway on this?
The bill is H.R. 260, No Tax Dollars for Terrorists Act. Congressman Tim Burchett, we could not have done this without him.
To President-elect Trump, calling on his incoming administration to stop this funding.
Do you know that we pay billions of dollars a year? Do you know this? Does anyone know this? To Afghanistan?
We really started a conversation here.
Essentially funneling cash straight into the Taliban's pockets.
$40 million in cash?
$40 million a week.
We're still actually giving $40 million a week to the Taliban.
$40 million a week.
40 to 87 million every week.
$3 billion plus going over to the Taliban.
Everybody that's paying U.S. taxes is now funding terrorism. 40 to 87 million dollars a week to the Taliban.
$40 million a week.
And sending U.S. taxpayer money.
Not approve this, sending $40 million a week. Stop giving our money to freaking terrorist organizations.
$40 million a week. How did you find this out?
All right. Well, my friend Legend, an Afghan-American and former U.S. Army non-commissioned officers, traveled to Afghanistan after the collapse and reports that the Taliban has been benefiting from U.S. cash shipments sent to the Afghan Central Bank.
About $10 million of that is 0.1%, has no doubt gotten to the Taliban. In terms
I don't care if it's
fees,
that gum penny. I don't care if it's a penny. I mean, for you to sit up here and admit.
The Taliban, so Al-Qaeda, of course, was the organization that planned 9/11, but they had the explicit support of the Taliban.
The oncoming threat that we're facing because we're funding the Taliban.
Yep.
Most Americans would say, wait a second, we're not really funding the Taliban. Cash is flown by charter jets into Afghanistan. It's auctioned off to the Taliban in order to exchange it for the Afghan currency. The guy named Sean Ryan, who's a former Navy SEAL, he had a fellow on there and goes by the name of Legend.
And I want to thank you and Congressman Tim Burchett for this initiative.
We pay billions of dollars to essentially the Taliban.
And he goes by the name Legend.
We accidentally gave 239 million to the Taliban. We already know it's much more than that.
And if it hadn't been for you and Legend, it would have not gotten anywhere.
No tax dollars for terrorist act. Isn't it amazing we're even having to consider this?
And I get a call from leadership. Say, hey man, what's going on with this bill? I said, I don't know, I'm waiting on y'all to do something with it. I said, well, it's up. It's going to be up next week. Get ready.
The Taliban is taxpayer funded.
Legend, that's the name he goes by, is an Afghan American. We formulated this plan because of that. Sean Ryan over in Middle Tennessee, former Navy SEAL, he and another guy named Legend have brought this to my attention.
Which terrorist organizations and what monies have we been sending to them?
Only 10 million ended up with the Taliban.
The State Department needs to ensure that any dadgum aid, whether financial or material, does not go to terrorists in Afghanistan.
We're giving tens of millions of dollars a week to the Taliban.
Sending money to terrorist groups.
Folks, those terrorists will hate us for free.
Stop funding our enemies.
This bill, it requires the Department of State to develop and implement a strategy to discourage foreign countries and non-government organizations, NGOs, from providing financial and material support to the Taliban.
This cash could be stopped right now. It just takes one phone call from the president, but it's not happening.
We've done everything we can do to get it at the top level. It is all the way to the top. It's in every agency. It's everywhere. Everybody's aware.
They were to light up their senators and say, hey, why are we funding the Taliban? Where is that bill? Where's Burchett's bill? A couple thousand people call you at lunchtime, man, and you get nervous. And that's what they need. They need to get nervous.
No tax dollars for terrorists. And I'm sure massive amounts of Republicans and Democrats will vote no on that. How do I know that? Because today, over 90 Democrats voted against the proposal to denounce socialism. You think everybody jump on that bandwagon, right? Say, yeah, you know what? I don't care what Republican or a lunatic left. Yeah, I can agree on that. I don't like socialism. Nope. 90 Democrats, over 90 Democrats go, yeah, I kind of like socialism. Can't vote against that. Our government, as the gentleman named Legend said, all it takes is a phone call from the president to stop it. So why hasn't President Trump stopped it? When it was Joe Biden, we were losing our mind. And now it's Donald Trump. We're just like, okay. I can already see the comments in the chat. I can already see it because I get them. You're dogging Donald Trump and you're doing this to Donald Trump. No, I'm asking a question to Donald Trump. Is everything that man does, do I got to just keep my mouth shut? 600,000 Chinese nationals? Nope, I don't agree. H-1B because we're untalented? Don't agree with it. Closing the border? Damn straight. You're doing awesome, President. $20 trillion coming in for investment? Incredible. Tariffs? Amazing. Your interior enforcement? Don't agree with it for deportations. It's grossly ineffective. You know it. I know it. You have fired 2 ICE directors. You know it as well as I do. This isn't, I'm not saying anything out of step. I'm a big Trump supporter, big Tom Homan, big Kristi Noem, big Rodney Scott, Commissioner of CBP. Those guys, great. So I'm allowed to, and I don't even care what anyone thinks. I'm going to question things as I see it. Why is Donald Trump allowing $40 million to the Taliban? I don't give 2 craps if Afghanistan falls into disrepair and they go into civil war and kill each other. I don't care. I don't want a dime going there. Do you know how many military guys that need medical attention? And our VA system is, look, I'm not a veteran. I've walked into the Veterans Hospital in Missouri, and I was appalled. Appalled. Waiting room, packed. Packed. The hospital looked like it completely. You know what? It looked a little better than like Soviet Russia. You know that brown, grayish look, brick, heavy brick, and everything is kind of like, and the fluorescent lighting and the floors, and I'm like, wait a minute. Down the street from me is a brand new hospital that is spectacular, like spectacular. How about this? Here's a great idea. How about the $500 million that we're going to give the Taliban? Why don't we construct a couple beautiful VA hospitals? Spectacular. Or better yet, why don't we take the VA hospitals and burn them all to the ground and just fund regular private healthcare for them? It has to be cheaper. It has to be more efficient. Hell, I don't even care if it costs more money. Guess what? We're not going to be sending money to Ukraine anymore. Israel, sorry, you don't get the $4 billion. You know what, Israel? We're going to focus on our war fighters. How, you anti-Semite? I'm so tired. I don't give 2 craps. I never did. Whatever little bit of I care what I say, that's been gone for decades. Why don't we do something that is so bizarre? Why don't we do something so outside the norm, so outrageous that people are going to like be aghast, like they're going to be, are they, what did he propose? Here's what I propose. Why don't we just take care of Americans? Is that hard to say? Is that hard to hear? Can you not digest it? Why can't we do what's needed for America and for Americans? That would be called the rally cry called America Only. America Only. And when we finally get into the black, whenever that is, Then we can have an open discussion on who do we help, how much, and when. Right now, the answer is no. You get nothing. Nothing. Because we're America only. How about we just try that? Just try it for 30 days. Let's see how it goes.